How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. Grateful for this universe, for the better and the worse. Grateful that this world keeps spinning round. Grateful for my memories, grateful for my hopes and dreams, grateful for the blessings I have found. Give praises for all the gifts I have. Given the chance, I'm gonna shout out loud. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can
in my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life. I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, golden. You're the light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden. You're the light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. You're perfect, you're golden. You're my light, my love, my love. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt. When I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. You're perfect, you're golden. You're the light of my life, you're the love from forever. In every reflection, I'm perfect. So I keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me, light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it, light it, light it. Always there, never leave, holding me, set me free, guiding light, your empathy, confidence to express it as me. You're perfect, you're golden. You're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. Your reflection, I'm perfect. So I keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me. Light it, light it, light it, light it. Light it, light it, light it. perfect, you're golden.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday Service. We are a multi-faith community, and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So if you would like to learn more about our multi-faith endeavor, or perhaps support the People of Diversity financially, please go to www.peopleofdiversity.org. We will have some more announcements after the service as well, so please stay tuned for those. Last week we ended our series on judgment with a special service put together by Shaman Shannon Plummer and her husband Bob Sima, and it was an amazing service. We're grateful for their participation in this community. Next week, we continue our series and dive in deep with humility and Swami Shakti Durgaya, and her musical accompaniment will be Andrew Bentham Riley. Today, however, we begin our deep dive into humility, starting our series off with Grandfather Will Davis, our Native American representative, and our sister from Tennessee, Donna Frost. And without further ado, let's dive right in.
Hello, everybody. Greetings from Chicago. Donna Frost here with you. Happy to be a part of your service this morning. Normally, you would be getting shots from my house in Tennessee with trees and birds and all that good stuff, but instead you get my hotel room at the Holiday Inn. And I'm on tour this weekend as we speak, so I've been playing shows in Chicago, and by the time you see this, I'll be playing shows in Ohio, and things are getting busy. Well, they've been busy anyway, but they're getting busier because it's that time of year when things start kicking in. And I've been very grateful for all the wonderful things that have been happening for me. And I've got a new little doggy named Hollywood I adopted 2 weeks ago from the Humane Society at Sumner County. He's brought a lot of joy to us. He's at home with my family while I'm out here on the road this week, but I look forward to getting home to him soon. And the topic for this week is humility. And, you know, when you're full of yourself and arrogant, you do some stupid stuff. Let's just be real. And I know I have. I'll fess up. And you beat yourself up and go, man, I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. And the other day when I was out walking, I'm like, you don't get do-overs in life, but you get do-betters. And I thought, I want to write that. So I wrote it this morning so I could share it with you. And we'll see how it goes. This is brand new. So you get to hear it first, other than the housekeeping crew here at the hotel. As I look back on my life, how did I make it so long? There were bad choices along the way, even though I knew right from wrong. I was arrogant and full of myself, and that I was above it all. But just like the good book says, pride comes before the fall. Just like the good book says, pride comes before the fall. I hit proverbial rock bottom and took a good long look at myself. It was time to get out of my own way and start thinking of someone else. I can't go back and change the past. Now I got my act together. Because you don't get do-overs, but you get do-betters. I can't do over the wrongs I've done, but do better to make things right. I'm thankful with the rising sun when I go to bed at night, for the blessings that came from my brokenness and the person I am today. Thank you, Lord, for the do-betters helping me find my way. Thank you, Lord, for the do-betters helping me find my way. Through the arms of faith, your troubles can turn to triumphs. I'm here to tell you that's how it's been for me. Walking on the right path, at peace with the realization. Life is a journey, it's not a destination. Life is a journey, it's not a destination. I can't do over the wrongs I've done, but do better to make things right. I'm thankful with the rising sun when I go to bed at night, for the blessings that came from my brokenness and the person I am today. Thank you, Lord, for the do-betters helping me find my way. Thank you, Lord, for the do-betters helping me find my way. There we go. Brand new, hot off the presses for you this morning. Hope you like that. And now, this next song is from Quarantine Sessions Volume 2. And one thing that you do when you have humility is that you appreciate and recognize that there are people that help make you who you are, or that, you know, it's help from God. You know, we don't do this all by ourselves, you know. You got to have people in your life, and it's very important to give credit where credit is due. And this song I wrote, and it was inspired by all the folks who hung with me all those weeks that I was on Facebook Live. It all started about 4 years ago this week, actually, when we were in the beginnings of the pandemic and everything was shutting down and we didn't know what we were going to do. And I went live from Facebook for 62 weeks in a row from my house. And so this is for all my Monday night music family, and it's also a prayer of thanksgiving to God. And so this song is very special, and I'm going to leave you with this. You keep me going, and you guys keep me going. And I hope you have a blessed day, and thank you so much for having me as part of your services all the time. I really appreciate it. Scott and Becky, I love you dearly. You keep me going, you keep me strong. You keep me singing all day long. You keep me up when I'm feeling down. You keep me covered with love all around. You keep me going, you keep me strong. You keep me singing all day long. You keep me up when I'm feeling down. You keep me covered with love all around. You keep me safe when the world's gone crazy. You keep me clear when things are hazy. You keep me on my path when I've lost my way. You keep me believing things will be better someday. You keep me keep me from feeling sorry for myself, to keep me taking dreams down from the shelf, to keep me having the courage to carry on, to keep me realizing I'm where I belong, to keep me living each day with a thankful heart, to keep me knowing we can't be torn apart, to keep me seeing the rainbow in dark clouds, to keep me standing tall and so proud, to keep me kind and keep me strong, to keep me singing all day long, to keep me up when I'm feeling down, to keep me covered with love all around, all around. To keep me kind and keep me strong, to keep me singing all day long, to keep me up when I'm feeling down, to keep me covered with love all around, to keep me up when I'm feeling down, to keep me covered with love all around, all around. There we go. Thanks a lot. Now it's time for the message, and thank you for having me with you today. God bless you all. Love you all very much.
Okay, everybody, good morning. It's good to be with you. I've been asked to talk about humility. And the reason I know that is because Becky texted me this morning and said humility. Because I really didn't know what the subject was. I knew that we got through with judgment and stuff, and I haven't really had that much time to think about humility. But let's examine that word, humility. What does it mean exactly? You know, the first part of it, incorporates the word human, and then the ILTY or on the end is kind of the act of, or engaging in, or the process of. It's an action word. And I thought about that for just a minute because I saw the time I had to think about it. I remember a while ago, and I even wrote about it, is someone asked me for my definition of humility. And I just simply said, I think humility is knowing how truly great you are, but having no need to say that or talk about it. Because truly humble people, other people will say that for them. They will say that about them, if you're truly humble. And sometimes it's difficult to separate the real from the not so real. Because a lot of people can act humble, they can appear to be humble or have humility when they really don't. It's kind of a manipulation to get attention, maybe. I think when we talk about humility, we also have to talk about what is it am I doing that makes things better. And again, without the need to talk about or brag about that. What is it we do that enriches each of us? Whether that's in our lives or in our spirits or all of those things combined. I think that when we talk about all these different words that we've been given, going all the way back to when I first came on board here, respect, freedom, judgment, ceremony, all of those things, when you put them together, if you were to create this run-on sentence, this really long sentence, using all of those words, you still come up with the idea of to be able to engage in any of those things requires a certain level of humility. I have to know where I fit along the spectrum, along the time-space continuum in the great circle of the universe. And my conclusion with that is it doesn't matter where I fit. What matters is that I'm functioning. Because you see, I see the great wheel, the great circle of life. I try not to use the word wheel because my people didn't have a concept of the wheel. So I don't use the term medicine wheel, I say medicine circle. I see it as this greater mechanism, this mechanism by which everything works in perfect unison. The universe works in perfect unison. And I'm just a small cog on that wheel. But if that cog is not there or not working properly, then the whole mechanism doesn't work properly. And for me, that means that's a humbling thought. You know, it's like when you look at me compared to the entire universe, I'm totally insignificant. I mean, you can barely even see me under a microscope. At the same time, my utmost and utter importance to the greater mechanism. And having some acknowledgement of that, having some acceptance of that, I think requires or can actually produce that humble feeling that when I compare myself to just my little tiny universe right here, it humbles me that I am even a part of that I contribute to it, that I have any mechanism that works in toto with that. And that's kind of humbling from time to time. I think anytime I sit down with Scott and Becky or you guys who are watching this to make these videos, there's a certain part of me that acknowledges how humbling that is, that I could even imagine that you would find anything I could possibly say to be of any importance or of any value. And for me, that's a humbling thought. I remember, it's only been just a couple of months ago, I was at a powwow, and that's, for some reason, that subject came up. I don't remember what the reason was now. And this one person, who I think is like a borderline detractor of mine, so it says, "Are you a humble person?" And I looked at them and I said, "I don't know." I said, "Do you think I am?" And which kind of threw them off, because had I answered yes, that would have sounded arrogant in that moment. And had I said no, I wouldn't have been telling the truth. So I just said, "Do you think I am?" Sometimes the way to deal with that is to put the question back, is to repeat the question back, maybe changing the words up a little bit, but to repeat the question back. And sometimes that diffuses situations. And again, you know, it's going to appear like I've just wandered right off the subject, but I promise you I will pull it back around again, because I think there's more than just one aspect to anything. I think everything we do, including us, are like this many-faceted gem, this many-faceted jewel. And I think each one of those facets needs its time of expression. I know with me, sometimes they all want to express themselves at once. So there's all this noise that goes on. So you have to kind of filter through some of it. I think when I make these videos, I think about, at that very moment, like right now I'm thinking about it, you know, it's like, okay, what are you going to say next, Will? Or where do you go from here? And there's that part of me that goes silent, right back here, that goes silent and this almost prayerful. And I think to myself, okay, I need some guidance here because I have no idea what I'm going to say next. And that works for me. You know, it's when you think about being humble, it's not like debasement. I know a lot of people confuse that. When they hear the word humility, their mind wants to go to the word humiliation. And that's not it at all. I know people actually say, when you put your hands up in front of you to people, isn't that kind of humiliating? And I'm going, no. It's acknowledging them. It's acknowledging that they're worthy to be here. It's my way of greeting. It's my way of saying, I ask a blessing on you. And I've mentioned that before on one of these other videos, that I'm not saying namaste because I'm not Hindu. What I'm saying is I'm giving you a blessing. I'm asking what I believe in, God, the Creator, the great mystery, to give you a blessing. And I do the same when you leave, because it's inclusive. I can stick my hand way out there and shake your hand, and I have my own theory about that. I think when you do that, you've created a distance. What it's saying to me is that you can't get any closer to me than my arm length and your arm length combined. Okay. And I just kind of ignore that sometimes. I take their hand and I just pull them into me, wrap my arms around them. I think being older kind of gives me permission to do that from time to time. Which, that's one of the privileges that comes from living as long as I've lived. When I also think humble people are also happy people. I think because they realize that it's not so much that they're insignificant as that they are a part of something greater than themselves. I mean, right now, I'm a part of this little group here, and this group, as its own entity, is greater than the sum of each individual in it. You know, if it wasn't for Becky and Scott, I wouldn't be making these videos. And of course, I have to give some thanks to technology here too. But that's a humbling thought. So when we think about being humble, when we think about humility, maybe we want to include in that our relationship with everything that's around us. You know, it's like in the native language that I'm familiar with, Akita Ma'aniyo, which means observe everything as you walk. And I associate with that with the Buddhist ideology of mindfulness, to be mindful all the time. And I think sometimes we don't really understand that when I engage in mindfulness, or when I engage in being aware, that means I have to be inclusive. I have to include everything and everybody around me. You know, when somebody gives you something, you say thank you. That thank you is a mindful thing to do. Too many people sometimes forget to do that. They just go, oh. The other part of that is sometimes we get caught up in the everyday grind. And as a result of that, we sometimes forget who we are, what we are, where we are. And it's my opinion that sometimes we may need to remind ourselves of that. This is who I am, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, this is also what I am. You know, and that's myriad things. There's none of us are just one thing, or can just do one thing, or just know one thing. You know, there's this multitude of experiences. You know, I've had experiences in my life that have so humbled me that I just knelt down on my knees and gave thanks. And there's been people in my life that has humbled me, made me feel humble. Places, things that my grandson humbles me. You know, I look at him and I'm going, you are the future. And I honor that. And without humility, I don't think I'd be able to acknowledge or even recognize that. You know, that there go you, you know. And so I honor that about him. Of course, he's a preteen right now, and he's entering the omnipotent phase of his being. And it's hard to be humble with that. But there's also a certain, I know that and I know that I stutter sometimes. I know that I use a lot of humor sometimes. I laugh a lot because I think that part of humility, let's go to these HUM words for a while, requires humor. Okay, it requires to be able to see the humor that's around you. I mean, when's the last time you watched a squirrel? There's a reason we use the word squirrely sometimes to define certain things. Are these house wrens around here? House wrens are these little tiny birds. The reason they call them house wrens is because they like to build nests in the most inconvenient places around your house, like your dryer vent and up in your garage and this, that, and the other. But what I find wonderful about these little birds is they have no sense of humor whatsoever. They are just all business. And they're very loud. For such a little tiny thing, you can hear them for a city block. The reason I'm bringing that up is that when I see things like the squirrel running up and down the tree and stopping and starting and wagging his tail, or the house wren chirping and looking all important and everything, is that the humbling part of that is that I'm part of that. You know, I'm here to see it. I'm here to actually recognize it. And I can laugh about it. And for me, that's important, that I can laugh about it. It's one of the things I thought about, and I was going to talk to Becky about it, but I didn't, or Scott. You know, it's like, I'm trying to put across some ideas here, but I don't want to miss the spirituality behind it. And I think sometimes I don't wax very spiritual on these videos. You know, but I do firmly believe in that old, tried and true statement that we're not human beings having a spiritual experience, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we need to experience that to its fullest. That's part of our purpose here, maybe, in this lifetime, is that we need to experience the humanness of things. And I do. You know, I dive right into this being human thing, you know, with ice cream and everything. And I always capitalize ice cream because that's my favorite thing in the whole world. But see, there's such a broad spectrum to the human existence, and part of me doesn't want to miss out on any of it, and part of me realizes that I can't experience every single minute of it because other people have a say-so about that. And I mean, I walk across boundaries enough as it is, and so I try to experience as much as I possibly can within the time frame that I have. I mean, I've been here on this earth now for almost 77 years. And, ooh, that's a long time. Oh, my goodness. I said that out loud, didn't I? That's humbling. It's a matter of not, I'm going to use this word and then I'll try to explain it. It's a matter of not retreating. Of not retreating away from life, of not retreating away from experiences, of not retreating away from being. And I observe so many people doing that. And just yesterday, somebody sent me a question in Messenger, and it really wasn't a question, it was basically a statement. And it was kind of chiding me because I haven't made any kind of great and wonderful statement about what's going on in the world today, that I'm too busy putting up these really nice memes and stuff. So I responded. And, you know, I don't remember exactly what I said now because I don't have it right here in front of me. But it amounted to, the only way to combat negativity is to engage in its opposite to a greater degree. If you're dealing with hatred, deal with it with love that's bigger than the hatred. If you're dealing with bigotry, deal with, you know, respond to it with inclusion that's greater than the bigotry. And then sometimes you win. I don't think anything in the universe is 100%, so I don't win every time. But I win enough that it keeps me going. It gives me that fuel, the impetus to keep going. And for me, that's important, because today I posted something that said, don't blame lazy people for nothing. They didn't do anything. And I think to myself, that's my motto. When I retired, my goal was to perfect laziness to an art form, and I'm just about there. However, it's not about any one thing. Too many people want to stop and claim, well, my way is the right way, and or this way is the right way, or that way is the right way. I can't do that, because I don't know. I cannot sit here and say, okay, the way I do things is the best way to do it. I don't know that. I haven't tried every single way there is yet. I found a way that works for me, and I've kind of stuck with it. My truth is no greater than your truth. And I will never argue that point with you, because it would be ridiculous. So in my endeavor to practice humility, one of the things I've learned to do over the years is to allow people to have their thoughts and their opinions about whatever they wish, that I don't need to school them on what's right and what's not right. There are some words I steer away from. I really steer away from the absoluteness of right and wrong, because I don't think either one of those exists in its totality. What's right for me may not be right for you. It could be wrong for you. What's wrong for you may be very right for me. I can't judge that. What I can do is be satisfied with where I am and what I'm doing. And I think if each person did that, adopted that maybe, just maybe, things would be better. I have no problem allowing others to be who they are, what they are, and where they are. I sometimes run into small barriers with being allowed to be who I am and what I am, and do what I do. And that's okay, because each of those situations can become a learning situation if you let it. I've learned many things in just the past year. I've learned quite a bit. Since I started doing these videos, I found myself having to think about things that I just normally let float right through there. And then I have to talk about them, so therefore I have to stay focused to some degree, and that's been a real learning experience for me. I'm not exactly a free spirit. I'm just kind of undisciplined. And that gets me in trouble sometimes, for real. It's like, I think sometimes filters are good. It's like water filters keeps our water clean. My pool filter keeps the pool water clean. The filter for my mouth probably keeps things from coming out that don't need to, and I forget to put it on sometimes. But I think we all do. It's not so much that I don't say or do things on purpose most of the time. I like to think that, like, when I sit down for these videos, I know what the word is, so I just go with it. It's like, I don't write nothing down, and I don't practice nothing, and half the time I don't even remember what the word was anyway. But sometimes when we let our stream of consciousness just go and follow it up with the words, with sound, that you'd be surprised at how much sense you make. Especially because I always go back and I don't listen to my videos for several days, because I don't want to become hypercritical. But when I do listen to them, I listen to them as though I had never heard it before. And there's always that grain of truth, that grain of knowledge in there that I went, wow, I knew that. I didn't know I knew that. So we can still be surprised sometimes. I do watch all of the videos. I watch every one of them. And sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't. Because I think each person's perspective is very important. It's just as important as my own. And sometimes listening to those other perspectives, those other ideologies, also helps me stay humble. It helps me realize that you're not the ultimate or final anything, okay? And I would never want to get, if I ever get to that point, maybe somebody will just slap me down and say, hey, pull it in, bud. Check yourself. Because my journey has been so circuitous, and I said that word right. Oh, wow. I usually don't. It's like pivotal. But my journey has been like this road that somebody turned a black snake loose and followed it with a bulldozer. My path has been pretty winding, and sometimes it was wonderful, and sometimes it was horrible, and sometimes it was rewarding, and sometimes I lost almost everything. And I'm in one of those periods now where I basically have almost lost everything. And coming back from that has been not only a humbling experience, but a learning experience. Because I've learned that there are things that I used to think I needed that I don't need. They were wants that I was confusing with needs. And it's easy sometimes to get that kind of confusion. And sometimes when we engage in humility, when we practice humility, we're willing to look at those aspects of ourselves and say, I didn't really need that, but I sure did want it, But it wasn't necessary for my survival or my eternal salvation. So sometimes you just let it go. I was talking to a friend not too long ago who was having a lot of anger, and I wasn't quite understanding what the anger was all about. So I said, what is it specifically that you're angry about? I said, I'm hearing all of this, blah, 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 blah. What is it specifically? Give me one phrase or one word that you're angry about. What it came down to was they felt like they weren't getting what they were worth. And I went, and what are you worth? Can you tell me that? Well, I'm worth this number. I said, oh, okay. Would you ask me that same question? He said, well, what are you worth? I said, no, ask me what you're worth. He said, okay, what am I worth? And I said, everything you can possibly have or get. And he went, and I went, it's true. I said, but to answer your first question, what am I worth? I said, I'm worth everything I can possibly have or get. We all are worth whatever we feel we are and whatever our environment puts on us. And I'm thinking to myself, that's where that, I made a meme and I posted about every 6 months. You are worthy. And you are. You're worthy of whatever good things come to you, and even sometimes the bad things, because it's the bad things sometimes that give us pause to think. So in closing here, I want to say this. When you make the decision that I'm going to be a humble person, that I want to be a humble person, make sure you understand what that is. Talk to other people. Talk to some of your trusted friends. Read about it. Look at people that you think have humility, and what is it about them that gives you that signal that they do have humility. And maybe some of you will let me know how that went for you. You can always text me or whatever. Every now and then I show up at places, but I can never predict that. So thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have the most wonderful week you can possibly have.
Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you, Grandfather. We're grateful for not only your both of your participation here on People of Diversity, but to Grandfather for being really a guide in our local community here too. So As always, we appreciate the efforts of our tech team, PL Theatrics. The email is below. If you have needs in that area, they will take care of you. We have a special announcement. On April 4th, from 6:30 to 8:30, we are doing a party. Join us at Unity of Melbourne, again from 6:30 to 8:30. And we're going to have just an informal gathering, eat some food, circle up, share, hear from whichever speakers may be able to join us, as well as folks just from the community, just hanging out and sharing. It is our 5th anniversary for our multi-faith community and services through the People of Diversity. So past services are available. By the way, RSVP, if you would please, so that we know how much food to get, because snacks are important and we want to make sure that we feed everybody. Past services are available at People of Diversity Facebook group, Facebook page, as well as our People of Diversity YouTube channel. There's archives and videos and lives, and then on the YouTube channel there are playlists that you can search by faith or by speaker, or faith or by topic. And that will help you navigate that YouTube channel. We do a deep dive after the morning service every Sunday from 11:45 to 12:15. We invite you to join us for that. Come hang out, visit, ask questions. When the speaker can be there, they join us. When they can't, we just come together and bounce ideas around. We do a second broadcast. The evening service is the same service as the morning service. It's at 5:45 in the afternoon, and it shows up again as a premiere on Facebook. Just on Facebook, the YouTube channel just has the morning service. Our country this week is Rwanda. And if you would join us in sending love and light and peace to Rwanda, centering and focusing on the people and the circumstances of that country. And together we'll say, may peace prevail in Rwanda. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. So, next week, Swami Shakti Durgaya and Andrew Bentham Riley. In reality, this is a Canadian connection, because Swami is also from the Great White North, as well as Andrew. So it should be an amazing service. I, on the other hand, will not be there. I will, in fact, be in Mexico. So that's kind of an interesting 3-country moment, isn't it? If you would like to tithe, donate, get caught up, check into the People of Diversity, you can do that at www.peopleofdiversity.org. There's a donate button in the center of the page, and if you'll hit that and move as you're guided, we'd be grateful. We end our service with a healing circle. If you'll bring to your mind's eye anyone in your world who needs love, healing, just more wonder in their life, please bring them to your mind's eye. Put them in an energetic circle together with all of us. We also want to include in there folks who are trying to run the planet and help them to do a good job and make good decisions. We'll listen to this last song by Mr. Namad, and let that take us into an amazing day, an amazing week, and we'll see you next time.
One power, one power, one power, one power, There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of